Harvard University, together with Novak Properties, conduct a study on men with women and property. Stay tuned. Men and women, and what they do with property. Just how's that bluff on Harvard University? Sounds when you put Harvard University, Josh, with stuff, it sounds official.
It does, doesn't it? It's almost like the stamp of approval when Harvard's put down, isn't it?
Anyway, I thought I'd call the bluff. How are you this morning?
Fantastic. Yourself?
Good, good, good. Now, we wanted to talk this morning, guys and girls, about an observation that we see in property. And it's a long one. It's years and years of property, and it's a solid one. Like we're seeing, there's habits of what men and women will do when as to where they will live around Sydney.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this, Josh? Are you a victim?
Oh yeah, look, I am a bit of a victim. The old saying goes, "Happy wife, happy life." So yeah, I'd say I definitely followed my missus over to the Northern Beaches. But hey, sometimes it works out for you, Mark. I mean, I probably wouldn't have seen myself over here without the extra push. And then now that I'm over here, I'm loving it.
No, that's so. So the conversation, how did that go? Did it when you decided um, to make the move? Was it a conscious, subconscious? Was there a conversation? No conversation. So you guys met. How did you end up sort of bunding into the beaches?
Yeah, so really, I would have met her coming over this way. I think we met down in Freshie actually. First date was down by the beach there. But yeah, look, we'd been living together in Bondi. Once we became a little bit more serious, and then yeah, it sort of just came up as a way of looking to purchase, and she wanting to be closer to mum and dad. There's always that's kid talk, wanting to grow up next to grandma and grandpa sort of thing. For her, that was a big thing. Um, scared me a little bit, but I just said, look, yeah, I'm happy. Let's start with just moving over there first, and we'll see what comes along, along the journey. But yeah, it was generally, yeah, she wanted to move back over closer to family. I'd been over in the area before when I visited. I loved it. Bit of a change from over in the east, and yeah, that was simply my story. Anything you could note on yourself, Mark, or?
Yeah, look, I did the same thing. And when it was, although it was probably more of a um, actions and no words, where I just found, so I met Lisa. She was from the east, I was from the north. Um, and believe it or not, never really had a conversation about it. It was just about, yeah, that's what we do.
Mm.
We ended up going through a couple of different suburbs in the east, and then we were like, oh, I didn't sort of, and it probably got to 5 or 10 years later where I was like, yeah, no, I don't think we're actually ever going to be in the north ever again. Um, it was weird. So, for some guys, I think it consciously, um, there's lots of talk or an arm wrestle even over it. And lots of guys, I think they just bundy into an area and don't even think about it. They sort of don't care. Gosh, I have to say, if you're looking at the odds of guys going to the roots of where the girls live or girls going to the roots of where the guys is, I would suggest it's closer to 5 to 1
Yeah,
girls'
yeah, I
way.
definitely agree. I definitely agree with you. I mean, I think it's also a little bit of a sense of, being male. You want to make sure that your other half is as comfortable as possible. So I feel like there's a little bit of that in there, especially for me. You know, if you know, I want to make sure my girlfriend's or my partner's happy and comfortable in a place that, you know, we can prosper together. So I think there's a little bit of that in the background, a little bit of a, you know, feeling of responsibility to make sure that, you know, your other half is happy. So yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Mark. And yeah, I think it's, yeah, it's something that's probably not spoken about, but quite a common thing.
And why is that? Like, because I find it's almost tribal a little bit, where um, you sort of go back to your nest, mum, dad,
Yeah.
brothers, sisters, and all that are there. And I'm seeing that I'm seeing a lot of people go to Queensland, and when they go to Queensland, I think people are giving for friends, which was, you know, a handful of fantastic people that have known you for 10, 20 years, your family, born and bred your whole life, and people give up that tribe. And it's really funny. It ends up pulling them back. It pulls them back in. But it's the girls' tribe more than the boys' tribe, I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, I think, you know, I think it just comes to down to a bit of like your support network. You know, sometimes as a, you know, you start in your young 20s, you know, you don't have as many responsibilities going on. You may be at the beginning of your career, but as you start to push on towards those 30s, you know, things start to get real, responsibilities increase, you know, you're progressing in your career, which means more time spent away from home and generally in the workplace. Or and I find that, you know, as you get to that stage, life gets more serious. You sort of, you do need another support network waiting for you, in case, you know, you are busy, you are held up. You know, partners of these days, you know, they don't want to put too much on the other half, you know. So I find that having that extra support layer, you know, such as mum, dad, brother, sister, I think that's really important, especially as times have gotten tough lately. You know what I mean? So I think that's really a major part of that is just having the support around you, and sometimes that can't be your partner, not because they don't want to, but because they possibly can't. And then that's what mum and dad, brother, sister, auntie, uncle, and I find that that's what does draw a lot of the people in or back in. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, guys, what we're talking about today is the odds. The odds. It's an odds game where, you know, if you're from X and your wife is from Y, most for some reason, or your partner, girlfriend, for some reason, we've noticed that people end up living in Y, where the wife lives more. There was a book written by a guy called Alan Pease, which I've always referenced and thought was to be super interesting, and in that he goes back to, you know, thousands of years of civilization and culture and stuff like that. And he often in that book talks about nesting and hunting, whereas um, the thing off the cuff, he used to talk about peripheral vision, linear vision. So a guy can walk up to a fridge, look in the fridge and go, where's the sauce? And then a girl will walk up to the same fridge and just grab the sauce straight away, because the vision is peripheral for
Mm,
a lady. And as an opposite example, if you say a guy can look at a distance and say that's about 100 200 meters, and a lady will look at that and go, yeah, no, I don't even know how far away that is, because it's the linear vision, it's the hunting. So one's
mm.
a peripheral vision, which is nesting, and one is a linear vision, which is hunting. And I do think it goes back to
Wow.
those days as well, where
Yeah.
girls naturally nest, so they naturally go to their nest to nest. And the men are like, don't give a shit where I live. I'll do, you know, as long as I'm happy. It's more that sort of hunting mentality philosophy. Could be that.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, yeah. It's history's a thing for it to continue proving itself. You know, generally patterns realign, reshow that, you know, present themselves over and over. So I think it's definitely got to have some of that mentality. I think you're definitely right there, Mark.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't real estate, if you haven't noticed, us in real estate can count the heads. And I've got to say, if you haven't realised, we generally go where the women go. I'm happy if you disagree, but we're going with the numbers on this one.
Yeah. Agreed, me being one of them.
Have a great day. Thank you very much, Josh, and everyone. Enjoy this beautiful Monday. Summer's coming, huh? Can feel it.
Thanks, Mike. Yes, start to feel the weather, guys. You're starting to feel those good Sydney balmy afternoons and nights. I've seen a lot more people walking the dog, so enjoy it. Get out there and have a great week, guys.
So cool. Thanks, Josh. Cheers, mate.
See you, mate. Bye.
Bye.